Hi, this is Trisha again, therapist from Ohio Guidestone with our fourth week's video. As always, thanks to my family for their help with the video, and if you have any questions or concerns, please email me. So our fourth week's topic is scheduling and teaching our children to be anti-procrastinator. An anti-procrastinator is an anticipator. So right now, with the time we're going through, unprecedented. You're working from home probably, your kids are being homeschooled. We need to know the importance of scheduling. So it's important to have a basic framework for your family of the schedule that will work for you. So maybe you think, okay, we need to get up early. Everyone has to be up by 8, have breakfast, and then let's start homeschool at 9. Maybe that works for your family, Monday through Friday. But don't be afraid to change it around if your family needs to have their needs met in a different way. Let's say your work schedule allows you more flexibility on the weekend, and that's the day you need to emphasize those tasks that need to be done that are maybe harder for your children to get through. So maybe you're a little more regimented on the weekends and you relax a little more on the weekdays. You need to tailor it to your family, to what works for you. You need to prioritize what needs to be done that day. Okay, this assignment is due that day. Let's do this one first, and then maybe work on the ones that are done that need to be done next week. Make sure you schedule some downtime in that basic framework we talked about. Okay, you know what? Let's have a family night tonight. Let's watch a fun movie. You know what? In the middle of the day, let's go out and play ball outside if it's warm enough. Have some downtime in there. Maybe have some movement exercise scheduled in. Okay, let's just stretch or maybe do a couple of yoga positions if that helps. Our final point is your children are going to learn from your example. If you show them someone who procrastinates all the time, who doesn't want to do anything until the very last minute, that's what they're picking up on. So lead by example. Show them, hey, you know what? This is important. I need to do this work project today. Hey, you know what? We need to get this room cleaned for this upcoming event. Let's do it now. Let's work on it a little bit at a time. So show them how you want them to behave. So to illustrate all these points, I have a fun book for kids that I thought I'd read. It's called Procrastinator, and it's by Julia Cook. So to illustrate how to be an anti-procrastinator, which is an anticipator, we are going to read The Procrastinator, written by Julia Cook, illustrated by Anita DeFala. My name is Norman David Edwards, but everybody calls me Noodle. Sometimes I get into trouble because I kinda sorta like to put things off. It's not that I don't plan on doing what needs to get done, I just like to choose when to do it. Noodle do this, Noodle do that. Please do it right now. You must feed your cat. Sometimes I'd rather do other stuff instead. I'll get to it later and my cat will get fed. On Monday, my teacher started a poetry unit in language arts, my least favorite subject. Class, this week we are doing poetry, my favorite topic ever. Each day you will write a different kind of poem. You get to be creative and clever. Today we will do acrostic, and tomorrow we'll do haiku. On Wednesday we'll do diamante and then limericks before we are through. On Friday we'll have a poem festival, and you'll get a chance to read the poems that you've created. Now here's all the stuff you'll need. A poetry festival? How exciting. Not. How could poetry be anyone's favorite topic ever? On Monday night after soccer, I thought about writing my acrostic poem, but I wasn't exactly in the writing mood. So I decided to put it off and just write 2 poems on Tuesday night. I mean, how hard could it be? It's just the letter of my name with the words that describe me. The toughest part will be deciding whether to use Noodle or Norman. Besides, Slime Man was on TV. It was a brand new episode that I'd never seen. Noodle, get all your homework done and don't forget to take a bath. Put your soccer stuff in the laundry and please take out the trash. Oh, and please don't forget to feed Roger. Roger's the cat. Okay, Mom, I'll do it in a few. But Roger says, meow, where's my chow? On Tuesday, right after my piano lesson, I sat down to write my acrostic and haiku poems. Just as I was getting started, Curtis called and asked if I wanted to go skateboarding with him. Is your homework done, Noodle? Well, all I have to do is write 2 short poems, but piano used up all my creativity. So can I do it after I get home? Please? I guess, but make sure you get them done. Oh, and Noodle, please clean up your bedroom and don't forget to feed your cat. Get your soccer stuff ready for tomorrow and remember to take out the trash. Okay, Mom, I'll get it done. By the time I got home, it was too late to write my poems, so I figured I'd just write 3 poems on Wednesday. I mean, how hard could it be? Poor Rodri says, what about me? On Wednesday, we had a make-up soccer game instead of practice. The match went into overtime, so when I finally got home, it was pretty late. Noodle, get busy, get your homework all done, and don't forget to feed your cat. And I hope I don't have to remind you again to be sure and take out the trash. Roger that. I didn't mean you, Roger. By the time I got all my stuff done, it was too late to work on my poems. I barely had time to do my math. Besides, I figured since Thursday is my free day after school, I should have plenty of time to write 4 short poems. I mean, how hard could it be? Yesterday after school, I decided to hang out at Reginald's for a while. He got a brand new gaming system for his birthday and I was just dying to try it out. I only planned to stay for an hour, but the game was a lot more fun than I thought it would be. I didn't get home until dinner. Oops. Last night, I finally sat down to write my amazing poems. I just couldn't wait to get started. Not. Oh, he's having a hard time, isn't he? Norman David Edwards, get down here fast. Your cat is very hungry, and look at all this trash. Oops, I'm sorry, Mom. I guess I forgot. I have so much stuff to do. Tonight I have 4 poems to write, and I'm never going to get through. That's because you procrastinate, Noodle. In fact, you put the pro in procrastinate. What does that mean? A procrastinator is someone who doesn't do what needs to be done when it needs to be done. That's you. Noodle, I've had to remind you to feed Roger every night this week. You haven't done it once. I've had to do it for you. How would you like it if I decided not to feed you for a day? It's not like a cat can make himself a sandwich when he gets hungry. He depends on you, and you've let him down. When you forget to feed Roger, that's just mean. And I've had to remind you to take out the trash about a gazillion times this week, and I'm sorry, Mom. I didn't mean to forget. I just got busy with other stuff, and now I'm really stressed. I have to write 4 poems tonight, and I'm running out of time. I've been working on them for like 43 hours. Noodle, it does no good to whine. I will help you with your poems, but first we need to talk. If you keep being a procrastinator, you'll stay in a very tough spot. Everyone procrastinates sometimes, but if you do it more often than not, you'll never be able to do your best and you'll really miss out on a lot. But how do I change, Mom? Well, first of all, try to push yourself to do the things you need to do before you do the things you want to do. You need to work first and play after. You only have 24 hours in a day, Noodle, and you need to be the boss of your time. If you spend too much of your time doing the fun stuff, you won't have enough time left over to get the important stuff done, and then you will get into trouble. This is the hardest thing for some people to figure out, but it doesn't have to be hard for you. Well, it sounds kind of hard. What if I forget? Well, let's do this dry erase board as a reminder. Make a Noodle to-do list every single day of the things you need to get done before you start to play. I've used a permanent marker for items 1 and 2 because these 2 things you should never be erased from your list of Noodle to-dos. So the first 2 things she put in permanent markers because they need to get done every day. Feed Roger and take out the garbage. Next, you need to remember the 2-minute rule. What's that? Any task that takes you 2 minutes or less needs to be done right away so you don't forget to do it. If I'm not mistaken, that just might include feeding Roger and taking out the trash. Let's practice. Do both and I will time you. It may take you a little bit longer to take out the trash because 2 minutes times 4 days equals 8 minutes. Last but not least, if you have something to do that's really big, like this poetry unit, break it down into smaller parts so you can do a little bit at a time. Then it won't seem so overwhelming. And Noodle says, oh, so that's why my teacher wanted us to write 1 poem a night. He's figuring it out, huh? My mom helped me figure out my poems, but it still seemed like it took me forever. I didn't get to bed until really, 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 really late. Today, at the Poetry Festival, I read my limerick. This poem isn't really that great, and I just about turned it in late. I didn't get it done because I was having too much fun. You see, I procrastinate. I thought I'd have plenty of time because it's not hard to make two words rhyme. But I put it off too long and I kept writing it wrong, and then I started to whine. My mom helped me figure it out. Now I have absolutely no doubt. Do it today, then tomorrow go play. Procrastination's just not the best route. The end. Oh, and if you ever have a cat, never, ever, ever forget to feed him because that's just mean. The end. Thanks so much for listening, and catch us next week. Thanks.